Arkansas State had a bye week last week. They last played on November 14th against Louisiana Monroe, which was a 59-21 victory for the Red Wolves. This week, Arkansas State travels to Las Cruces, New Mexico to take on New Mexico State for a 3 p.m. Central Time kickoff on Saturday. Coach, before we get started with questions, why don't you give us your thoughts on the last bye week and also the upcoming game against New Mexico State?
Well, seemed like it's been forever since we played. Don't remember the last time we had an open week this late in the season, but we tried to use it to help freshen up guys' bodies and minds a little bit. It's been a long season, been a physical season, and it was good to be able to take the load off some guys. But we went back to work last night and had a good practice. I think we've got a big challenge with New Mexico State, a road trip this week. They've won 3 in a row and have a lot of confidence going into this game. I think we'll catch them probably on their last home game and senior day with maybe the best running back in the league. So we've got a lot at stake. We know that. Hopefully the week off will give us a chance to make a good push down the end, and I think it'll be a good game, and it's a big challenge for us.
Thank you, Coach. Our first questions today come from Matt Roberson with the Jonesboro Sun. Matt, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach. How are you?
Morning. I'm good.
How did you structure your practices this past week? Did you kind of give them extra time off, or did you just go through a normal work week?
We gave them some downtime. To be honest with you, we always take Mondays off. It's our normal cycle. We did that, but we got some work done on Tuesday and Wednesday, mainly with the young guys. Most of the veterans, it was just body maintenance and just getting some good cardio in. We wanted to maintain our cardio that we've had all year. It's been a big factor, I think, in the third and fourth quarter in a lot of games, and so we wanted to work on maintaining that without banging around. We didn't do any hitting at all, just trying to let these guys' bodies feel a little bit better. And really had an early session Thursday morning. These guys had Thursday and Friday and Saturday off. And then we went back to work and got a good hour-long sweat in last night, and then we'll get back in on a normal work week this week.
Do you think that bye week came at a good time for you guys in any particular way?
Well, just the physical nature of the season and just some bodies that I think are a little bit bruised up and banged up. It could very well benefit us. I think the guys were able to refresh their bodies a little bit. I think to some degree they refresh their minds, kind of refocus on the task at hand. It can go either way for you, but if last night was any indication in terms of the attitudes and just the response and how the guys came to practice and the approach to meetings, I feel like it got done what we needed to get done. We looked fresh, we looked fast. The meetings were good, guys were focused. We had very few MAs in a practice on a Sunday night, and so I'd like to think that we got out of it what we needed.
Health-wise, you guys, how's Clifton and Gurley? What are their situations, and are you missing anyone else?
We're healthy everywhere else. Obviously, Justin Clifton did have surgery on the torn pec muscle that needed to be repaired. He's out for the year, and did a great job as a true freshman for us, and is going to have a great career here in the future. It's one of those things that just could not be avoided. It had to be repaired. Gurley is still day-to-day, has done limited work in both the last couple practices. I still think to some degree his reps will be limited on game day. Don't know that his role will be as big as it's been in the past. So we're gonna need to move some guys around. We've got several to choose from. Kyrie Lane is a possibility. He was recruited as a nickel and has moved back in and played mostly Will Backer. Austin Copeland played nickel last week against Monroe. Any of those safeties, whether it be Cody Brown or Money Hunter, could slide up and play the nickel position and have done so during the year. And then we, depending on the personnel, we've played both Blaze Taylor and Jamaris Hart in there in some dime and nickel substitution type packages. So it'll probably be by committee. That's really the most significant injury to deal with. Everybody else is basically healthy and should be fine to play, and which is honestly refreshing considering where we were this time last year.
Last question. Based on what you've seen from your team and kind of the personality it's demonstrated this year, is there any concern that this bye week could have disrupted your team's momentum going forward?
Well, it always concerns you going in. I felt like as I said last night, the indication was that, I mean, the guys came back, they watched games all weekend, they know what's at stake. You know, if we can find a way to win Saturday, we secure at least a share of the title. And they worked over 320 days to get ready for this opportunity. And I thought last night we had a really, really crisp, clean practice with a lot of energy. You know, my meeting with them, team meeting, there were eyes up front, guys. Body language was positive. I think this open week really came at a good time, and I feel like they utilized it to freshen up. And last night's indication was that it gave us what we needed.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Matt. Our next questions come from Luke Matheson with RedWolfReport.com. Luke, please go ahead.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good, Luke.
Hey, what is your biggest concern coming in this game? Obviously, New Mexico State, they have won 3 in a row. You mentioned this their last home game, senior day. What's your biggest concerns going into this game?
Well, I think they're a lot better team than their record indicates. They lost a lot of close games early, and they found some things that work for them here down the stretch, and have battled on the road to win a tough game. And I think we just catch them at their best, and so you got to throw the record out the window and really focus on the things they're doing well. They run the ball extremely well with Larry Rose. They've thrown the ball over the top, 3 or 4 touchdowns, I think, over the top this week, and I think they have found some things both on special teams and defensively and gotten better. And so just making sure that you focus on what they're doing well and not how they played early in the year where they came close but didn't get it finished. And I think traveling on the road is always difficult for anybody. You watch it every week. To go on the road and play your best away from your home environment is a challenge regardless of the opponent, and now we catch an opponent at their best on senior day at home for the last time. And it just presents a lot of challenges for you that our guys got to respond to.
Right. I know after the ULM game, you mentioned the first half that the energy level and everything wasn't necessarily where you and your staff liked. Is that something you guys talked about over the bye week?
We talked about it a little bit. I think we learned from it. I'm really proud of how the guys responded. We obviously played a really good second half and started picking things up late in the second quarter. But it's something that you want to learn from in the sense that you recognize it. Guys know what it felt like. They know how they felt during pregame, how they approached the week, and that's not who we are, and that's not how we want to come out in the first quarter. If you do that against an opponent like New Mexico State, you're gonna find yourself in a hole, and we don't want to do that on the road. So we're not going to beat it to death, but we definitely have talked about it, and I mainly just want to learn from it so that we don't repeat that same lackluster energy level or maybe that same lack of focus, whatever it may have been, and make sure we come out consistent like we have the rest of the year.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Coach Anderson. That's all the questions we have for today. We appreciate your time.